Hey, good morning, Amy Lassen. How are you?
Good morning indeed.
I'm Charlie Bengal with Remax Allegiance, and my co-host today is Amy Lassen, an associate broker and coach with Remax Properties in Colorado Springs, Colorado. So today, welcome. So today we are discussing a Thanksgiving sprint and how to finish the year strong. This has kind of been an ongoing theme.
Yep.
We know that things are going to slow down when the holidays come, whether we like it or not. And yes, there's certain ways to overcome some of that slowness, but things typically do slow down. So we wanted to discuss today about a Thanksgiving sprint, setting ourselves up for success going into 2020. You had a really good quote, which I'll let you elaborate on here in a minute, which is focus will take you everywhere. Tell us about that.
Oh my goodness, yes. Well, I think you and I both know, I can personally identify, and I know plenty of the people that I coach just tend to be squirrely, right? It's that shiny object thing with most of us in real estate. And I honestly believe that it's because when we got into this profession, we didn't have a lot of guidance about how to run a real estate business.
Sure.
So now we always were tipping at windmills, eager to buy whatever is going to make it easier. Maybe that's the magic beans. Maybe that will fix me. And so I think it spreads us really, really thin. I had someone come to the coaching call the other day and ask me about a certain technology. And do you know about this certain technology? And I said, well, actually, yes, I do. But why are you bringing this up?
Right.
Didn't have a good reason. He was being squirrely. So as everybody looks at what they want to get done between now and Thanksgiving, now and the end of the year, now and into the first quarter of 2020, if you would do less but better, you would get traction so much faster. So that's what I
Less.
mean by
So focusing on what I would say, what's the business plan say to do, right? What
mhm,
are the lead sources that you committed to doing earlier in the year
mhm,
that have been working? Maybe double down on those.
mhm.
I don't think now is the time to necessarily be adding lead sources or testing lead sources unless you've fully executed on the ones that you committed to executing on. Agree,
Well,
disagree?
well, no, 100%. So, but for those who may not listen to us on a regular basis or be walked through a business planning protocol like you and I do, elaborate on that. Like, who's to say they even have identified their
Right.
sources? What does that even mean?
Well, I mean, so I think you can do a really quick business plan like on the back of a napkin, right?
Totally.
And it's how much money do you want to make? Right? How many deals is that based on your average commission?
Mhm.
And where are those deals going to come from?
Yep.
Right? So if it's to make the math really easy, if it's 20 deals, 10 from buyers, 10 from sellers, and then what lead sources are you committing to get those 10 buyers and to get those 10 sellers? I think we usually start with past clients in Sphere
Mhm.
and work our way from there to other lead sources, be it the farming, the FISBOs, the opens, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
But so I guess I would encourage people that if you've not gone through this exercise, it really does just take a minute, and I think
Mhm.
that it can be a valuable lesson, and then you can tape that napkin or that poster board or whatever you do to create this little mini plan, and tape it above your desk, and have and then be focused on where your business is coming from.
Absolutely. So for those who have not yet done a good job of staying in touch with the people who already know, like, and trust them, that would be the first place to start. And what better time than the holidays? And I would encourage a couple of different focuses. And the people that I coach on right now kind of have a two-channel focus. One is to be very direct about being of service to people who want to sell or buy over the holidays because it's a unique time. So,
Right.
hi, Sally, Amy Lassen with Remax Properties. I wanted to talk to you and ask who you know that might need a special level of care when it comes to buying or selling over the holidays. Unique challenges, unique opportunities. I have special systems. Now, that's a very direct ask,
Mm-hmm.
okay? But the other is the absolutely don't ask. Write notes of gratitude and just be gracious. Don't
Right.
call your past clients and beg for business. Just be in community with them. And it's both. So I have people calling their A pluses,
Mm-hmm.
being very direct, calling all their connectors saying, buying and selling at the holiday time is really unique. And I have unique services for that. Who do you know who needs that service? And then the big picture, the other 100, 200 people are getting the notes of gratitude. Maybe it's a poinsettia, whatever it is. Maybe they're doing that happy hour just before Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
a pie event. the thing that I mean about less but better but focus is, even, let's just say we only did Sphere. Let's say that's the only source we were focused on between now and the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You could still spread yourself too thin, right?
Right.
You could overthink that one. So again, really pick a lane and stay in it and do it well. And a quality contact will take you everywhere.
Yeah, I like that. And you had touched on client events, and there's still time. There is still time to put together a client event. And the client event does not need to be a super complicated event that takes tons of time and steps and money. It could be the happy hour before Thanksgiving, right? That you're letting people know a week in advance the first round is on you, right? Or it could be the reverse pie giveaway. You could have it at your office. I have a client doing it at her house. She was lamenting, I don't know where to do this. I'm like, well, how about your house? And she just stopped dead in her tracks.
Yep.
She had not thought about that. And she realized that, how simple it would be to just have it at her house, right? It's a little social. They come by, they pick up a pie. There's cider there. There's some cookies. There's a little bit of music playing. Does not have to be complicated.
Yeah.
Right. And, or you can do the pie pop-bys. We have agents within the company that pop by with pies. We actually had a manager last year that 200 pies the day before Thanksgiving. She enlisted her team and friends and family and all sorts of stuff. And everybody got a pie on the, on their doorstep. So, whatever works. But I like the idea of cards, personalized cards, not just the bulk cards that have your name on it, happy holidays, and off they go with, a nice message. And I like the idea of a client event. If it's too late in the season, if the suggestion of Thanksgiving pies is giving someone angst, then, plan something around Christmas. There could be a Thanksgiving pie. There could be a, like I said, the reverse Popeye, the poinsettia dropping by.
Cookie
so I think
there's so many ways.
The opportunities are endless. The ideas and opportunities are endless.
I think so. And I think this is about limiting belief. Right? Right. It's just having excuses. So listen to yourself. If you keep throwing up objections, then that's probably a sign that you're holding yourself back.
Right.
I have a man that I coach. He checked into zoo lights. I said, in your community, do they have zoo lights? He checked. He said, yes. Do they have a banquet room? Yes. So he got back to me yesterday and he said, yeah, totally. It looks amazing. I'm so not doing it. It costs too much. I said, how much does it cost? Oh, with the snacks and everything, like $3,500. His average commission is $14,000.
Right.
I said, are you kidding me right now? You're serious? He said, well, I want to buy a snowmobile. I'm just like, this is limited.
I don't want to buy. Yeah.
So here's the thing, everybody. That $3,500 is invested in getting your next transactions. You guys are willing to pay Zillow, but you're not willing to throw parties?
Well, yeah, and I think that I have yet, and I think we've discussed this before. I have yet to have a client that has said, I did not get a referral from a client event. It just happens, right? And the more FaceTime we get, we say this is a contact sport, and this is a way to contact people ahead of time. This is a way to contact people in person. You're talking to them in person and then following up with them later. It's just so incredibly valuable. And I agree with you. We've been down the road before about, paying for these so-called lead services, and then we wait for the leads to, pop into our inbox. But those leads are people that they don't know us. They don't like us. They don't trust us. We might be able to convert them. Hopefully we can. And then they become a past client and a raving fan and all that. But I think that you certainly get better bang for the buck by getting in front of the people who already know us, like us, and trust us, right? Would you rather do more deals with them and people that they know than Zillow? If I had to choose, and I'm not saying we even have to choose, but if we had to choose, then I would choose the former. So no,
let's talk briefly. Like if we want to give a lot of people, the thing that holds them back, the limiting belief is it just sounds overwhelming.
Yes.
What would be involved. So write down a list. If you want to check out the zoo lights in your community and see if that's a thing, write it down, make the phone call. That takes 5 minutes, right? Figure it out, figure out the budget. You could do this. You could spend half an hour deciding whether or not you want to do this. Another amazing thing about an event is the double dip that they are. You have a videographer there, you have a photographer there, you establish, I know an agent who gets his collateral for marketing for the coming year. He gets so much cool stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Video testimonials. He gets all this stuff and puts that in the can for the coming year,
Yep.
right? Then with my sister, it's all the touches. It's the save the date. It's the reminder. It's the follow-up. It's the thank you. And then it's the charitable giving, because everyone brings toys, in her case, to
Nice
give to
idea.
Children's
Yeah.
Hospital.
Yeah.
So there's so many ways that these events are just about the best thing you'll ever do for your career. I used to coach a guy who was such a crabtree at my own brokerage. Such a crabtree, and loved to complain about this concept. And then someone else twisted his arm, and it was just like, you know, he had just found Jesus, man. He was like, woo!
Yeah.
So excited. So if you've never tried a client event, maybe it's a rip off the Band-Aid and try it and get back to us and tell us it didn't work.
Yeah, totally. And again, start off small. You know, the happy hour at the bar is easy peasy, right?
True.
I totally like your idea of the zoo lights and the other bigger events, because I think the holidays are a perfect time to do it. And by the way, when you're calling the client and inviting them to the event, what a great way to ask, what a great time and way to ask for a review, by the way. If you're behind on your reviews, I was talking to somebody this morning. He has had over 200 closings in his career. Obviously a great agent. He has zero Zillow reviews.
Sure.
Zero. So, you know, how can we begin the process of working on those? So,
so I want to
yes.
make a, I can't think of what it is. I want to push Jerusalem. Her Zillow class is going to be so great. So those of you who don't know that it's coming,
fantastic.
Yeah, Jerusalem is going to teach a remarkable class on how to get reviews, on how to redo your bio, defining your own unique value proposition. So all of you who are listening, if you're not at RE/MAX Allegiance, be jealous. It's going to be an amazing class.
I like it. What a nice plug.
Thank you. Plug.
Is that what you were looking for? Yeah, plug. What a nice plug. Okay, so we talked about the Thanksgiving sprint. We talked about cards and calls. We talked about pop buys and client events. What else is on your mind about, you know, completing this Thanksgiving sprint or end of the year sprint with positive action that is going to get the agents into, you know, having a pipeline? We've talked before about waking up on January 1st and knowing, you know, you have active listings, you have people that want to transact later in the spring, right? It's not this panic.
Right.
So as you mentioned before, you know, New Year's Eve is not a wall, right? It's like the psychological thing. We want to finish the year strong, but then we're in winter.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, now what?
Yeah.
Right? We're in, you know, most of the country, certainly in my market, you know, you're in the frozen tundra for several weeks, couple months.
Sure.
And, you know, when you are too, and things are typically a bit slower. So what are some other ways to be generating business now, so you do have a pipeline going into that first quarter?
Ooh, awesome.
Which is so important, because if you start off the first quarter at goal or ahead, it just makes the rest of the year so much, I don't want to say easier, but so much easier, right? Instead of you're in the slog and you feel like you're behind. And we have clients that they always say, you know, the first quarter, I always get behind. It's like, well, what are we going to do to finally break that habit?
Yeah. Momentum. An object in motion tends to stay in motion.
Right.
So I would recommend that everybody write down right now their Thanksgiving sprint, right? It's like, well, I want to handwrite 100 cards. Oh my goodness, it's the 5th of November. How many is that per day? When do they have to go in the mail?
Right.
Hurry up and do 10 cards. Don't overthink it. Please just make a plan, right?
Yeah.
Buy or don't, plan it, right? Bare minimum, be on the phones with everybody. If all you do is call and say, you know, I'm thinking about you at this time of year. How have you been?
Right.
Perfectly legit, right?
Yeah.
So I would say make your little sprint plan,
yes.
and that will push you through into the next part of the year. Sometimes we avoid getting on the phones because there are certain people we don't like as well. Well, here's the thing. Go organize your database. Go ABC it and call the A's.
Right.
Don't start at the bottom. Don't start with the ones that you find annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay. You're going to run out of time anyway. So I would say budget your time.
Yes.
And then you get to decide how you want to spend your holidays. Charlie, you said that the holidays are slower. That's true. In these crazy cold markets, fewer houses sell. But guess what? Fewer people list. Fewer people buy.
Yep.
So that kind of evened out.
Right. But
and
those that do.
And fewer agents care.
Right.
Agents
like
go
that.
Christmas shopping too. So guess what? The playing field is level. So anybody who says to me the market's too slow, well, I was born on Christmas Day. I love not working on my birthday. I don't care that December's slow. It's slow in my life on purpose.
Right.
But you get to decide. Is it slow in your life on purpose? Because there's business to be had. Everybody else is Christmas shopping, including the agents. So,
Oh yeah, I like that. So how many cards, how many conversations or hours of power,
Mhm.
hopefully one a day, right? How many open houses?
Yeah.
Right? There's three quickest ways to a commissioner. FSBOs can be scary. Expireds can be terrifying. Open houses, we can all do open houses without getting scared, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not here today, and I don't think you are either, to talk FSBOs and expireds right now, right? But open houses, we as a brokerage have more listings than we typically are able to hold open. So what a great opportunity.
Mhm.
And I get clients that say, well, I did an open, I only had 3 people.
Mhm.
I did an open and it's overpriced. It's at a bad location. And my question is, well, can you pick another listing? Can you pick a better listing, right?
Right.
So they are out there, and ask your manager, go on your MLS and run your office or your company and see what's out there,
Mhm.
and do some opens, because they still do work if they're done correctly.
Mhm.
And if you're engaging with people and building rapport and following up with them appropriately on the same day, not on Tuesday, on Sunday, not
Mhm.
on Tuesday, on
Mhm.
Sunday, right?
Mhm.
And so, that's another quick way to a paycheck. So I think as we're working this past clients and sphere piece, right, I do think that there's still time to do open houses and to double down, because we know that they work.
Right. So I don't know how in the short amount of time we have that I can, poke holes in the limiting beliefs people have around open houses. The truth of the matter is somebody out there with a real estate license, somebody in your market is crushing it with open houses.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
are. They are. So when you hear yourself say, yeah, but, recognize that you're focused on the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the people that I coach are asked, if you take on open houses as a legitimate source, you get 3 months to watch YouTube videos, beg me for my checklist, mastermind with other agents,
Mm-hmm.
practice, improve your skill, up your game. And by the end of the quarter, if you have not crushed that source, you get 3 more months.
Right.
Because dabbling will take you straight down the drain.
Yep.
Right? Holding open houses and having 2 people come is a waste of your time. You're right about that. Right?
Yes.
So we all have an opportunity to improve the way we do things.
But I'll tell you, if it's really slow and we're already there and we're like, oh my gosh, pick up the phone and call some people.
Yes.
Pick up the phone and call some people, because most of us are not on the phone with past clients in Sphere for 20 or 30 minutes each. They're
Yes.
fairly short conversations. Do not call your best friend and be caught on the phone. So when somebody does walk in, you're stuck, right?
Right.
So, make the most of that time, and, have a professional way to have people sign in. I think the loose leaf notebook, it does not scream fresh, modern approach. And if there are neighbors that are coming in, you may not look the best, right? If you were using Open Home Pro or Spacio, or I love BombBomb.
Mhm.
I love BombBomb because as soon as they hit the enter button, they're getting a video from you about the house.
Yep.
Right? To me, that is like amazing. Right?
Yes.
And it goes to the BombBomb CRM, which will then it can then syndicate to your CRM. Right? It's all connected. Should be connected. So. I know that today wasn't supposed to be about open houses, and I've gotten off track, but I just think that the people that are like, I'm behind goal,
Mhm.
I'm in trouble, what can I do to get something on the books now?
Yep.
It is find people that are ready to transact now. And one way is to call past clients in Sphere and ask those questions. And another way is to go and find the people that are looking to transact now. And those are typically at open houses.
Yeah.
Some of them may have agents. Some may be neighbors that are looky-loos. But as you said, they do work. We have agents within our company that are doing well with open houses, and we have agents that are, throughout the country that are doing well with open houses.
Yeah.
Because they're dedicated to it.
Yeah. So I think you've made a super, super good point, and that is that the level of service you provide is important. Right?
Yes.
Just showing up at the last minute with a notebook is not reaching for a higher level of service. And when you call people to offer your services, when you call your Sphere to ask for those referrals, I think it's important that we all believe in our value proposition.
Mm-hmm.
So I can say, I have a step-by-step approach that includes weekly updates, right? explainer videos,
Yep.
online dashboard. I walk my buyers and sellers through competing in this type of a market and keeping their sanity with showings at the holidays. Who do you know that needs that level of service?
Right.
Rather than, I have goals. I have
Yep.
goals. Will you
Yeah.
help me with my
Yeah.
goals?
I want a snowmobile. Can you help me?
Right. Right. So
Yeah.
that's what I would say is take a Ruslan's class, work on your unique value proposition, figure out what your service is, and then start sharing the fact that you have a high quality service. Make it clear to the people that you talk to that you go above and beyond to make the lives of your buyers and sellers better.
Yes. And then do it. Right. I
Yeah.
always, driving around on a Sunday at 1 o'clock, it's always very interesting, or 1:05 through a neighborhood. And there's always the agent out there putting up the directional at 1:05 for their 1 o'clock open house. And it's like, and me being a realtor, exactly what's happening, right? They're running late, do you want to be early? Do you want to have your directionals up? Do you want to be ready? Hopefully you're doing a make open house for the neighbors ahead of time anyway. That's certainly a topic for another day. But
Right.
I think having a checklist and systems in place that you can be proud of that make you look different than the other 1.5 million licensees in this country.
Yep.
We always talk about the NAR statistic, but guess what? You don't have to be a member to sell real estate. And there's many people who are licensees and not members. So it's closer to like 1.5 million or more. That's a ton of people.
Right.
Yet, what is it, 25? What's the number? How many people sold more than 25 houses? 3% of realtors?
Oh, I don't know this stuff.
It's a very small number that sell more than 2 houses a month, right? And, so anyway, systems, checklists, call your clients. I know we're always harping about that on this call, or rather on this coaches show. And I just think that it's so important. Yet the holidays make it so much easier. We have a reason to call people. Happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays. In January, guess what? You've got the first 10 days you can say Happy New Year. Same thing, right? So we've got 2 months. It's the 5th. We have 2 months of good reasons to call our people. We don't have to rely on, did you know rates dropped, right? That was a great script a month or 2 ago. Now we have another script, right? I know Thanksgiving's coming up. I was thinking about you, off you go.
Yeah.
This is, go ahead.
No, well, you're so right. And I just want to leave everybody with something encouraging that I hope they'll do. Because I think you and I do tend to talk best practices. And sometimes maybe I don't notice when we're being a little intimidating. Like, all you have to do is handwrite 100 cards. Like, that's not a huge endeavor, right?
Yeah.
So what if you called 10 clients and just said, how are you, and nothing else? Don't ask for referrals. Don't ask for reviews. Like, that's it. Because people say all the time, I don't want to be pushy. Please don't.
Right.
Please don't. Right. I think one of the best ways that you can be in genuine community with your people and provide extraordinary value at a really high level is to do the annual reviews that we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
What if you reached out to as many people as you feel like doing it for and do that beautiful bound home value report at the end of the year, right? That is a high quality touch that encourages referrals, encourages positive reviews. But either way, you can, yes, you can push for a higher quality touch, or you can just be nice. Either way, please be in motion and don't push back on me and Charlie and say, I don't know what to say. How about hi? That would be fine.
Hello.
That would be fine. Yeah,
yes.
So either way. So like I say, my clients right now have a double focus. They are proactively going after business, going after appointments. They are in an appointment setting challenge through the end of the year to get as many listings as possible. Here's the thing that we have to keep in mind. Who are you going to force to move out of their house this holiday season?
Right.
No one. So what we need to do is get ahead of the people who are actually looking for help. We never persuade people to move.
Right.
We just help them when the time is right.
Yes.
So quit feeling like a pushy salesperson and figure out why your service is absolutely valuable at this time of year.
Yeah, we want to be top of mind when they do make the decision that they need to move.
Yep.
And if we don't keep in touch, we don't do client events, we don't call, we don't pop by, we don't mail to them, we don't do any of this stuff, guess what? We're going to be driving by that house one day and look over and go, you know what? I sold that 3 years ago and there's a Keller Williams sign out front. Yeah. Right? It's happened to almost all of us at one point in our career. And I would love for those who it's not happened to prevent that unpleasant experience, because you just feel it in the pit of your stomach and you think about the missed opportunity. Yep. So it's about being top of mind And we can do that by providing great value. We can do that by being personable and
Mhm.
inviting people to our events and just saying hi. So I don't want to beat this horse anymore.
All right, so my favorite hack is the to-do list with time estimates. This is the hack that I want to leave you all with.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
For the rest of the year, write down this stuff. Don't let it rattle around your brain. I've talked about getting things done before. The book
Yes.
GTD talked
Yes.
about how our brains are not meant to be these massive repositories for
Right.
every random fact. So if you're kind of feeling overwhelmed, kind of feeling freaked out, write it down. Okay, now put a time estimate next to it. Is that a 10-minute item? Is that a 2-hour item? It really can be helpful to see how many of those are 10 minutes or less.
Mhm.
Start knocking them out, right?
Yeah.
Get your sanity back by using to-do lists with time estimates.
I like it. I think we leave it there.
All right, awesome.
So let's all get into action so we can have a great holiday and not be worried about the first quarter.
Right, and we do get to talk once more again and show our gratitude before the holidays.
I like it.
Don't we have another?
You.
We have
Yeah,
another show before Thanksgiving?
We do have another show before Thanksgiving. We're going to have to have turkey legs or something on the show.
Nice.
Thanks. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye
Take
everybody.
care. Thanks.